Last time out, a tactical masterclass from myself put me ahead of Ferg in the standings. In this episode, what we're doing is whoever is behind isn't going to be allowed to use any power cards until the following pay-per-view. But before we get into that, it's time to choose who I'm going to fire from Ferg's roster. Right, Ferg, the time is now. It's time for you to sack Edge, please. I would like to confirm my decision.
Oh, he's my main champion as well. Right, we're going to have to get rid of him. See you later, Edge. You've been very, very good for me in my first 5 weeks, but it's time to go.
Tyler's come to me and he says, I've been putting in a lot of work and I think I've earned a shot at the title. Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. You've been putting on 1-star matches for me. How on earth have you earned a shot at the title? What I'm doing, week 6, I'm going to apply Stephanie McMahon's power card. I'm going to double my arena income. I'm going to get in Shelton Benjamin. He's only on a 10-week contract, but I think I can deal with that further down the line. And I'm going to get in the legend, the Red Flame as well. Okay, this week has been a real struggle for me. I'm struggling for stamina across the board. So because I'm trying to conserve stamina, I've got 3 normal matches and a tables match this week. So let's lock this one in and move on to Ferg's card.
Candice LeRae demanded to win her next match, and I do actually have a fixed match power card, but I don't want to risk using it on her. So I need to freshen up the tag team scene in the men's division, and the Red Monsoon actually looks like the perfect fit. Coming off the back of a monumental win in the Jobbers World Cup, the Red Monsoon is being thrust straight into the title picture in NXT. Also, seeing as Candice LeRae needed a win, I'm going to go ahead and sign Lula Tandy because she's a face bruiser to match with her, and she should be able to come out on top in that one. So there's my card. Week 6 is about to set off, and unfortunately I had to let Edge go, but don't worry, I've brought in a man with an even bigger legacy than him, Red Monsoon. So week 6, let's lock this one in and get into the matches.
First match, Kevin Owens against Akira Tozawa. These have delivered some okay matches in the... Bloody hell. A 2-star to start, no rivalry developed. The Red Flame, he is going to become a superstar for us. Forget Kevin, forget Akira. It's all about the Red Flame going forward. Fabian v Titus, 2.5. Okay, so the drama curve is messed up. Vicky McLeod v Trish Stratus, 2.5. And the main event, I think this could be good. I think this could be like 4 stars. I'm going to say it. I think this could be a 4-star title match. Perfect synergies. 4 stars. There we go. Called it. That's all right in the end.
Right, heading into the show, we've got the first match for the male tag team titles coming up, and the popularity of Red Monsoon could be an issue, but after his performance in that Jobbers World Cup, I think he's going to get over very quickly. So let's simulate and hope for at least a 2, maybe a 2.5 star. Okay, so we actually get a 3-star from the first match. That's much better than I was expecting. Okay, so this is a crunch match. Candice LeRae has to win so she doesn't lose morale, but I didn't use a fixed match card. She does get the win, which is perfect because now she won't complain. Now onto a rivalry that has actually carried over from the last 5 weeks, Natalya versus Maya T. Kirk. And Maya T. Kirk's starting to win. It's only a 2-star, but at least it's somewhat in line with the drama curve. Now time for the main event, Braun Strowman versus Mansoor, and it's a 4-star match in their first fight ever. No rivalry started though, so that's a little bit disappointing, but overall not a bad card at all for week 6.
We did okay. Our opener wasn't very good, but our mid-cards significantly outperformed what Ferg did, and we both had 4-star main events. Let's see how many fans we gained this week. We gained 44,730. Have we done enough to retain the lead so far? No.
Okay, results coming down here. We've gained 62,000 fans. That's actually not too bad at all. Is it enough to see us over the line and get back in the lead though? It absolutely is.
Okay, I need a new wrestler to join my roster because I don't have anyone to be in a rivalry with Nia Jax, who's now the champion. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to bring in Casey Catanzaro. What I've also done this week is I've applied 2 Health Spa 3 cards to a couple of my female rosters so that they can have a little bit more stamina going into next week. Let's lock this one in.
Okay, so heading into week 7, I did think this was a slight possibility, but Braun Strowman has come and asked for 2 weeks off. Also, to help out with stamina a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and sign Dexter Lumis as Brock Lesnar needs an opponent and he fits the role perfectly. Okay, so I've just realised that my female tag team division is in a little bit of a mess, so I'm going to go ahead and sign Andrea Cannons to fix that problem. I think that's a pretty good card. Let's go ahead and confirm it and get into week 7.
Akira v Kevin Owens, stinker last week. This week they deliver an absolute banger with 3.5 stars. We've got a run in here. MVP on Tyler Bate. Hopefully that keeps their feud going. Just a 2-star. We weren't really expecting anything special there, and we do manage to grow the Tyler Bate and MVP rivalry to level 4, which is absolutely beautiful. We get a 2-star in the next mid-card match as well, which isn't ideal. We need this to be good. It needs to be 3.5 stars or above. It's a tables match. They've got popularity. They've got a rivalry. But it's just 3 stars. Little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie.
Tamina gets her first shot at the women's single title against Toni Storm, who surprisingly came out on top against Charlotte in the first 5 weeks. Is she going to come out on top again? Yes, she does. And a 3-star match, that's not too bad. Candice LeRae continues her rivalry with Lula Tandy, despite not actually starting a rivalry last week, but she goes ahead and wins again. And it's actually started a rivalry this week, and it's only a 2-star, but that's okay. Then for the second mid-card, we get a 3-star match, which is actually not too bad, considering Andrea Cannons has about 20 popularity. But to top it all off, we need a big main event, and hopefully, it's going to be 4 stars or above. Pete Dunne and Kalisto retain again. It's only a 3-star, that's really not great for the drama curve. Was hoping for 3.5 or 4-star. We'll have to take it. I don't think that's the best show by any means, but hopefully it keeps us in first place.
Okay, let's see how we did this week. We've gained 66,000 fans. That's so much better than last week. I think that might be enough to put us back into first place. And it is enough. We take the lead and we get a Health Spa 3 card as well, which could be pretty useful.
Right, okay, so it had to be a pretty big week from Luke to come back and overtake us. Somehow he has, though. I can't exactly remember how many fans I was down, but we're back to number 2 already. That really is disappointing. So looking at the results, he's only 5,000 fans ahead of us, but I'm still not too sure how he's done that.
Right, week 8, this is my card that I'm going to lock in. First off, I've got a tag team between Trish and Sasha against Vicky McLeod and Nia Jax. I've then got the Red Flame and Titus O'Neil pairing up to face Shelton and Fabian. They've all got really high stamina. They've got their own individual rivalries going. I've then got Casey against Raquel, which doesn't look like a great match, but then I've got Shotzi running in to keep the rivalry going with Raquel. And the main event, a title match between Mustafa and Ivar. It's a tables match. I think we're good to go with this one.
So coming off the back of an okay but not great week 7, Triple H has actually given us a superstar power card, which is brilliant because Red Monsoon has already been doing quite well and he deserves that push, so appreciate that Triple H, we'll put it to good use. Unfortunately though, that does mean that the Red Monsoon is sitting out for 2 weeks, but we've got a pretty okay card anyway. Charlotte and Cannons are going to defend their newly acquired female tag team titles against Dana Brooke and Liv Morgan, so hopefully we can get a rivalry going a little bit there as it's been quite stale so far. Other than that, the card's looking good, so let's get into week 8 and hopefully build some momentum for the next pay-per-view.
First match of the show, we've got Trish and Sasha against Vicky and Nia. This is going to be a guaranteed banger because I put a promo card to boost the rating of the Extreme Rules match, and it's a classic matchup. That is exactly what we needed. Next up, we've got the Red Flame and Titus against Shelton and Fabian. We've got a really varied card this week. A 2.5-star mid card. I'm pretty happy with that. Casey against Raquel with a Shotzi run-in. 1.5 stars. Okay, a little bit worse than I was expecting, but it is totally fine. And in the main event, tables match, and it is an amazing fight. And they develop to a level 3 rivalry as well, which is going to be perfect for that next pay-per-view.
Okay, we need this week to be good, as I really can't afford to go any more fans behind Luke. Are they going to retain? They actually do retain, and hopefully it's a 3.5 star. That's what I was going to say, 3.5 stars. So great match to start off the night, and hopefully long may it continue. Now for the guaranteed banger every single week, the match that all of the fans turn up to see, Candice LeRae versus Lula Tandy, and it's another whopping 2 stars. Unbelievable feud between these two. Now this match is going to be interesting because Brock Lesnar has a 5-star rating, but Dexter Lumis only has 2. It's the first time they've fought, so let's go ahead and simulate and see who comes out on top. I imagine it's going to be Brock Lesnar, 3-star. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm happy with a 3-star on that one. Then finally, the main event that Tamina asked for. She came into the DMs and begged to be in the main event, so hopefully she doesn't mess it up. It's got a 3.5 stars, so I think the drama curve is met pretty well on that one. Would have liked for a 4-star main event, but beggars can't be choosers. Hopefully it's enough to put us back in front of Luke.
Okay, we've had a really strong week there. A 4.5-star opener, a 4-star main event, 65,000 fans essentially. Are we still number 1? Yes, we are, and we claim the free special effects booking via the commissioner goal as well.
Seeing as Luke did outperform us so much to go back in front last week, I'm not sure it's going to be enough to get us into the number 1 spot. But let's go ahead and continue. And unfortunately, I was right. We are still in number 2.
Booking in the show for the penultimate week before our next pay-per-view. It's a little bit of preparation leading up to that pay-per-view. I'm going to confirm this one, and I think Ferg's got no chance.
In terms of stamina and rivalries, we're actually a little bit thin right now, so I'm going to go ahead and sign Chester as one of the free agents. So that's what the final card's looking like. It's a really bad week, I'm not going to lie. 3 normal matches, but I've put 2 in tables to try and make them a little bit better. Let's go ahead and lock this in, and hopefully it's not as bad as I think it's going to be.
First matchup, Finn against John Cena. We've had this so many times before, and it is an amazing fight to start the show. So this is a tricky one. We have a title match between Nia and Trish. I've had to do this just to meet the commissioner goal. 2.5 stars. I will absolutely take that. The Red Flame and Titus against Shelton and MVP. No rivalry between the tag team, and only a 2-star matchup, which isn't good. And Ivar against Mustafa Ali. It's a legendary fight, and it does go up to level 4, and I did have a tables boost on that one, which explains why it was so highly rated.
Okay, so T-Bar picks up the win, which is good after being on the shelf. And it's a 2-star match. The new signing Chester going up against Dexter Loomis, and they've gone ahead and put on a disaster class, a 1.5 star. But not to fear, as the classic rivalry between Candice LeRae and Lula Tandy. What are they going to give us this week? 1 star, 2 star, 3 star? You know what? I don't care if it's not in line with the drama curve. That's actually quite impressive. Okay, the main event. This really does need to be good. Again, Charlotte Flair and Andrea Cannon's win, and it's a 3-star match. So I can't ask for much more than that, but it's not ideal in the slightest.
Okay, we've absolutely destroyed Ferg this week. What a week. We've got 72,126 new fans, and we do maintain our #1 ranking and gain a superstar training card. What a week for us.
27,000 fans down. This isn't the end of the world, but this next pay-per-view is absolutely massive.
In recent weeks, what we've been doing is absolutely rinsing the power cards, and we've come to the conclusion that it's just way too overpowered if someone isn't allowed to use one for like 5 weeks. So what we're going to do instead is whoever is behind after this next pay-per-view, they won't be allowed to use any power cards at the next pay-per-view. So it's not going to be a 5-week period. It's still absolutely crucial for me to be ahead after week 10. So let's see if we can maintain my lead. Right, it's finally time for the second pay-per-view of the series. I'm really happy with the card that I've put together here. I haven't got any power cards on this week, but I'm really happy in the card that I've built. A lot of level 3 and level 4 rivalries. I think it's going to be too hard for me to beat.
So what I'm going to do is use as many power cards as I physically can for this one show, including my Fighting Champion power card. Week 10 starting off with Disaster as the star of the Jobbers World Cup. Red Monsoon is unhappy and wants $100,000. Now, while I do think that the Red Monsoon is worth this, unfortunately I only paid $2,800 to get him on the roster in the first place. So keeping him on for $100,000 would be absolutely ridiculous. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let him go. Okay, looking back on that decision from Red Monsoon, I'm absolutely baffled, okay? I brought him in for about $2,800, I gave him the run of his lifetime for the tag team titles, straight into the picture, no questions asked. And then on top of that, after Triple H gave me a superstar training card, I put it straight on him. And he's been out of action for 2 weeks. I have no idea, but that really has ruined my plans as he was in the tag team fight. So this is going to be a really, really difficult show. So there it is. There is the Week 10 SummerSlam pay-per-view. We've got 4 titles on the line, fully utilising the Fighting Champion power card. And we even used the Instigator power card, so every rivalry's gone up by 1. All of them have decent stipulations, power cards have been played. I'm doing everything I can to go ahead of Luke so I can use power cards in the Week 15 PPV.
Oh, the nerves are setting in. Let's see how we start with Kevin Owens against Akira. And it is a classic. Tyler Bate against MVP. Tyler, I hate you. 3.5 stars. Shotzi against Raquel. A Hell in a Cell. It's an amazing fight. The rivalry's complete. Extreme Rules match. Tag team match. Sasha does win, which is what we needed. And it's another amazing match. Finally, the main event. Level 4 rivalry. Extreme Rules. And it is a 4.5 star classic. But is it going to be enough?
This is it. This seems like it's going to be the most important pay-per-view of the entire challenge. So the first match is a legendary, which is exactly what I was after. This is why I've gone all in on the power cards. Now this feud is a level 4, but I do have my doubts, as neither of them are particularly popular. Natalya goes over, and it's a 2.5 star. Right, the male tag team titles, please, another 5 star if you're kind to me, please. It's a 4.5 star classic, which to be honest isn't bad by any means. But if we're going to beat Luke, we need them all to be near enough perfect. But we're going to simulate. Tony goes over again. She's my champion after week 10. And it is a legendary, so that's perfect. Okay. Braun versus Mansoor. Braun goes over, which is kind of expected. And it is a legendary, so we have been saved. Still a little bit on edge. I don't know.
So in the opener and the final 2 matches, Ferg got 5 stars. I am pretty nervous about whether I'm actually still going to be in the lead or not. Have I done enough? 215,000 fans gained. Are we going to be in first place?
Okay, please. 236,000 fans. I don't think that's going to be enough, but I'm going to go ahead and press X. And this is a massive, pivotal moment in this challenge.
Yes! We've done it. First place.
Okay, so we must have beaten Luke by around 20,000 fans, as we're only 6,000 fans down now, so that's really disappointing. I did everything I could, used all of the power cards that made sense. Unfortunately, week 15 is going to be a very, very bleak pay-per-view. Those next 4 weeks leading up to it, they're going to have to be amazing. They're going to have to be huge.
So we managed to wrap this episode up with a dub for SmackDown, with a lead of around 5,500 fans, which honestly is basically nothing. We're pretty much neck and neck with a huge part of the season still to go. Next time out, Ferg won't be allowed to use any power cards at his pay-per-view, and we'll have another special challenge running throughout to make things that little bit trickier. If you have enjoyed this episode, then make sure you click the subscribe button if you haven't already.